That was All You Ever Wanted by Rag& Bone Man. What did you guys think?
Yeah.
Really, really liked it. I mean, Rag and Bone Man, he's had a pretty monumentous journey to fame, to be honest. He like, when did Humans come out? It was like, what, 2 years ago?
No, more than that now, wasn't it?
A bit
I think,
more than 2 years ago. I'm looking it up right now.
But
yeah,
like his origins, I don't know if you guys
2017, 4 years ago.
2017, yeah, 4 years ago. But like he came up through. What's incredible about Rag and Bone Man is he came up through like High Focus Records, which is like very much like a UK hip hop record label. Like it's like the 4 Owls are part of it. It's I don't know if you've ever heard of Ocean Wisdom, who's done like really well recently. He's like part of High Focus Records. It's all like UK hip hop, not grime, like proper like UK hip hop. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
And
Yeah.
he came from that, and that's kind of crazy considering the music he's playing now. But it is amazing. He's got an incredible voice, and I think that's what's so surprising about Rag and Bone Man is, he's sort of like started off on the UK hip hop scene, and he's kind of from there developed into this artist that when you saw him back then would never know that he would be capable of like some of the stuff he's doing now in terms of like commercially successful, and things like that. So incredible.
It's amazing. It's amazing, but I think it's very much also his voice that allows him to do that. So I was just reading about him as well, and he basically grew up listening to soul and blues and things like that, which is how he got this way of singing. But very interesting that he comes from hip hop, because this was very much a pop rock song, I would say.
I would say
maybe
that,
a bit of blues rock, but pop rock essentially. But yeah, the voice is incredible. Everyone knows Human. It was just made by his voice, I thought at the time.
No, you're right. And I think this kind of track with his voice actually gives me George Ezra vibes, which George Ezra is a kind of artist that I've always been like, oh, another pop song, another pop kind of track, but it actually has a certain different type of element to it. It gives it another dimension, and I think I've started falling for his kind of music and kind of like it. So I have like a soft side for this, to be honest. And if it sounds more like George Ezra, that's not exactly a bad thing, I would say.
Yeah, agreed, definitely. So in terms of ratings, Mike, what does that?
I don't think I could rate it higher than a 6 for me personally. I mean, I like the sound of his voice. I think the chorus is cool. Again, like I was saying about the George Ezra vibes, but again, it's something that's just been done so many times before, and I feel like I've heard this song 100 times, But talking about how he's come and the progression of him as an artist, that's you got to take that into consideration and where he's come from. I would have normally given this something like a 5.5, so I think I'm going to give it a 6.
Fair enough. I mean, I think I know what you're saying, and also like I think part of the fact that it does sound familiar, and that is true. It sounds like the first time I heard it, I didn't think it was a new song. I thought it would be like an old classic almost. You know what I mean? Where you'd like, oh, I'm sure I've heard of like artists before, like probably some song from like 10, 20 years ago or whatever, but it isn't. It's brand new. I think that might be a sign of like a great song, which is written really well and will do amazingly commercially.
Yeah,
it's perfect for radio. It's perfect for like Top of the Pops, if that was still a thing. Do you know what I mean? All that kind of stuff. But I think it does show it's a great song. So based on that, probably gonna give it a 6.6.
That's a good rating, and following along from your logic, I think a song that is made well, is written well, is catchy, it sounds good, it has these interesting sides, because also this electronic sort of da-dum, da-dum, I like it, it's catchy. If it had come out in like 2006, this would have been one of the songs that we all knew 100%. Growing up.
100%.
It's like those kinds of bands that came along, like, I don't know, Kaiser Chiefs, things like that came along in the mid-2000s, like Kings of Leon, which I like because Human was very much a it was different from all the pop that was coming out at the time, but also it had that very epic feel about it. But yeah, I think a 6 for this, and 6 is a pass, so I think it's
Yeah.
smack average, just really good and made better by his voice, but I have to consider the song for what it is, and it's just a normal
Yeah.
song.
I think you and I are on the same boat with that, Jacopo. I think in the end, it is a normal song. It's not it's something I've heard
It's
multiple
good
times
though,
before.
but
It
it's
is
like,
good. Yeah, of course. But again, what makes it good, I think, as well, is his voice. If it was a pop art, if it was I don't know, Kelly Clarkson, I probably would have rated that a 4 or a 5. It's not. It's a good song with his voice that's made better. And I think that's the way I'm looking at it.
agreed.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's as good as Human. I don't think it's as good as Giant. But yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'll follow his career with interest.
Yeah. Well, over to
Yeah.
you, Ben. You've got another track you've put up next.
So yeah, I mean, this is one with like the band is 21 Pilots, which is one I've like, a band that are massive, but you've never really listened to them at all. Like you walk past like posters on the tube for like a gig they're playing or an album they're releasing, like they're that level of successful, but you never actually listen to them. And I gave them a listen, and they're a duo from America, and like it's really interesting. Like I thought it'd be one of those sort of like, as an old dinosaur, one of those ones where you're like, oh, this new music that the kids are listening to, shocking. Da, 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 da. No, actually, I really enjoyed it, but we'll see what you two think. But yeah, so this is Shy Away by 21 Pilots.